What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm bringing my very first episode review of My Hero Academia, and oh my gosh, I am so excited that this is actually happening. So before I start on discussing what happens in the episode, I'm gonna say a couple things. Number one, I've been slacking on my Hero Academia videos for a couple reasons. Number one, because a lot has happened in the last couple weeks. I've been playing a lot of Poké in between. I'm doing multiple videos per day instead of just 2 usually. And on top of that, it's just the timing has been kind of weird. Plus, I've been trying to read it. As far as my, how far I'm in the manga, I'm currently on chapter 12, I believe. And what I decided to do was I was just gonna read like 10 chapters and then do a review. Because last time I did my first video, I just did, I believe it was just chapter 1 and chapter 2. I think I don't really remember, but it was just early on. And I figured since I'm so far behind and the series is over 80 chapters right now, I was going to do basically just 10 chapter summaries, discussion, reviews, and then kind of do it on a weekly basis with the manga. Well, now that I kind of got lost in time and the anime is here, what I'm going to do actually now is I'll just review the episode every single Sunday. We get 3 videos every single Sunday. I will review the episodes, discuss it kind of like how we do with Dragon Ball Super. And once the anime is done, because right now it's only greenlit for 13 episodes, but it's so successful, I'm sure it's going to continue on after that first season. I will just jump into the manga on a weekly basis and do that as well, because the series is so freaking epic and awesome. And to those who have not watched it, have no clue what My Hero Academia is, I highly recommend you take the plunge and get into it, because it's so good. And the first episode was just super exciting. Oh my gosh. Now, as far as how to watch it, since people are going to ask, so how do you watch this, Rhymestyle? Well, I believe it's going to be every single Sunday morning. It premiered this morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time on I think it premiered on Funimation's simulcast on Funimation Now, their streaming service, but it premiered in Japan. Obviously, it premiered in Japan, and then it made it to the simulcast. So I believe it's gonna be every single Sunday morning on the Funimation Now service. So if you want to check that out, I will link it in the description below. But it's a great series. It's a great series, and I highly recommend you guys to dive into it. So what happened in the first episode? So the first episode is basically the setup. It was very true to the manga, which I freaking love. I love it when in the anime will basically do exactly what happens in the manga and don't really add any extra stuff. And I love the fact that they took that path with this first episode. So what exactly is going on? Well, the main character, let's call him Deku, because his Midoriya, his first name is kind of complicated to say. I'm just calling him Deku. Deku lives in a world full of heroes. It kind of reminds me of, to those who have watched a show, it's an old show called the 4400, which is basically, well, I'm not going to talk about the 4400 because I don't want to spoil in case you haven't watched it anymore. Check it out yourself. But the 4400 basically is a series about this Earth, and the future abducts a bunch of people, sends them back, but they send them back with powers, and from there people develop powers, and it turns into a future of just superpowers essentially. Everybody gets power. Well, this is similar to what's going on in My Hero Academia. Everybody has a thing what's called a quirk, and from what they said in the intro, about 80% of the population of the world has that quirk, and they vary from things like being able to harden yourself, where you basically turn to rock. They show that guy in the beginning who turns into wood, which by the way was a badass power. You also saw that girl, Mount Lady, who becomes massive. Mount Lady, you know what I'm saying? Mount Lady. She becomes massive. So it varies based on the people. And you can have awesome powers, or you can have crappy powers like Deku's mom, who just has the ability to draw a small object to herself. Like, oh yeah, look what I can do, party trick, woo! Can't be a hero with this. At least I don't think. I mean, then again, I guess you can be a hero technically depending on how you use your power. In her situation, she can probably just, I don't know, use her power to toss paper balls at people or something. I don't really know. Why am I throwing my phone? This is an expensive phone. I shouldn't be throwing this. But yeah, the world basically consists of quirks that you develop usually by the age of 4, and then from there you can become a superhero depending on how you use your powers. You can basically get paid, and it's kind of like the dream job. The thing I like about this show is the main character is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum as opposed to everybody else. He has no quirk. He is quirkless. And he wants to be this big crazy hero because he's inspired. He was inspired by this guy named All Might, who's like the big #1 hero of this universe, or of that universe, I should say. And he just wants to help people. And this is what I like about his character. He's got this, he's just innocent, just very, very good. He's pure. It's a trait that a lot of people don't have. And it's just cool to see he has these such dreams. Like I feel like he's the type of person that you can watch this anime and just be inspired to want to be anything. Like I love those kind of anime that just inspire you to do that stuff. And that's what basically Deku is. So he has no quirk. He has no quirk as of yet, I think. I don't know. I don't know anything. I say that because I don't want to spoil it to those who are new to the series, but to those who have been reading it, you know exactly what happens and how the story unfolds. But in the episode, he also meets well, he doesn't meet it, but they introduce his rival, I should say. His name is Bakugo, and Bakugo is kind of an asshole. just like in the manga, except for in the anime. I think they portray it a lot better because, again, you can see the visuals, you can see how much of a dick he is. He is an asshole. Like, he's just a bully. And like Deku literally looks up to this kid. He just wants to be him. He wants to, like, basically, he's inspired off of this kid. And what does Bakugo do? He is just an asshole 24/7 for no freaking reason. And I hate those kind of people. But I gotta give it up. The anime did a great job portraying that differences between both those characters. Well, as the episode's progressing, kind of introducing what's going on, they get into the first, well, that's the first conflict. The second conflict, I should say. The first conflict, which consisted of kind of an explanation of the world, where they had that big guy who was like, who stole a purse, and he was getting stopped by a bunch of villains. Excuse me, by a bunch of heroes. That was the first conflict. The second conflict is there's this liquidy monster villain dude thing, and he tries to take over Deku's body. And what happens next is basically his dream. Freaking All Might, of all people, his #1 favorite hero, saves him. And from there, he's all starstruck. He's like, oh my gosh, I have so many questions to ask you, but freaking All Might is in a hurry. To those who've been keeping up the manga, you know exactly why. And what happens as he dives away to go escape, get out of there, freaking Deku hangs on to him, and basically they end up top of the roof, where he realizes that he's running out of time. You see a little bleed, and like I said, those who've been reading the manga, you know what happens next. But to those who have not really read past the anime or read past the manga and have only watched this first episode, I'm not going to discuss what happens next, but that's where the episode ends. So here we are in this world. So world is full of quirks, and the main character doesn't have power. That's where we're at. So yeah, that's freaking My Hero Academia, and from there, the journey is about to start. It's gonna get pretty good. A lot of people compare this as like the new Hunter x Hunter. People are saying that this is like Hunter x Hunter meets Naruto meets something else, and I gotta kind of agree. It's a great series. Like I said, it's very, very enjoyable, and I want all you guys who are watching this video, if you're new to My Hero Academia, take the plunge. Go check the show out. You will trust me. You will love it. Like, I know you guys. We've been doing YouTube as a squad now for how many years now? You got 2 or 3 years. I know what you guys like, and My Hero Academia is definitely something that you guys will enjoy. A lot of people have been saying this is like the next Naruto, the next Hunter x Hunter, the next big anime essentially. And with the anime actually launching today was the day it launched. It's going to be one of the series that down the line, like 2 or 3 years down the line, you can say, you know what? I was there from day one. So get into that. So next episode, we have the continuation of the next conflict, which followed just like the manga. From what we saw was Bakugo was in trouble, and they have the freaking liquidy guy again. He's just being an asshole, and then from there, that's when the story is going to develop further into where the path is taking. So of course next week we'll discuss that, but for now that's pretty much it. So what do you guys think? My Hero Academia, what were your thoughts on the first episode? Animation was spectacular, by the way. Absolutely spectacular, and I was just blown away. I'm so glad that Bone Studio is doing such a great job with that, and hopefully after these first 13 episodes are finished, they'll continue on with the quality and amazingness of the show, because again, this is only greenlit for 13 episodes right now, which I assume will just take the story from about the first arc or so. But again, with a series this big and popular, it's inevitable that we'll get a second volume, a second season, all that stuff. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. That's the only fear that I have, is I hope that we don't get these 13 episodes this year and then the next season like 2 years or something like that, which I don't think is going to be very, very likely, because again, it's a very popular series. But at the same time, you know how it'll go sometimes. Sometimes we'll get an anime like Attack on Titan, which has an amazing success, 25 episodes, and then now it's like it's been like 2 years and we haven't gotten anything else. So hopefully we don't get that with My Hero Academia. But for now, let's just enjoy these next 13 episodes. And again, 13 episodes is a great number to jump into and dive into, because like it's like, oh, 13 episodes, like I can watch that, I can do that every single week. But then in like 2 years, when the series has like 300 episodes, like wow, man, that's a lot of episodes. So start now. Anyway, so what do you guys think about Deku, the main character, as well his rival Bakugo, as well as the quirks? If there's one quirk that you think you would have, like something that makes you special, what is that one quirk? Comment below. My quirk obviously is to make YouTube videos. Dun, dun, dun. Nah, that's kind of lame. This is actually a tough one. I was watching the Funimation live stream last night as they were preparing to launch the first episode, and the question they asked every guest that came on was like, what is one quirk that you would have? And that is such a tough question to ask someone from like just off the top of the head. Like think about that. It's like, oh yeah, go ahead and pick a power that you get to have the rest of your life. What is it? I don't know. This is a tough one. Now, I can't think of an answer off the top of the head, just because, like I said, I'm just sitting here just kind of talking out of my mind. But for you guys, what is one quirk that you would like to have? Not necessarily one from the show, but just any quirk, any power. What would that be? Comment below. With me, I kind of want the ability, it's going to vary between two things. Either some kind of telekinesis, which is always badass. It's always a safe choice. Or two, some kind of hardening power, kind of like how hardening power. Oh, the jokes that's going to spawn. hardening powers, kind of like what we saw with Greed in Full Metal Alchemist, because I was always obsessed with this power the most, how he's able to make the perfect shield around his whole body, which I thought was like badass. I would take something like that. But then again, you know, telekinesis is always a safe one, so that's probably one as well as an option. But I don't know. It's a tough choice. What is your quirk? Comment below and let me know your thoughts on episode 1 of My Hero Academia. Anyways, so again, that's it for today. This is going to be done every single Sunday as a third video. The third video, this one, 1, 2, 3. So tune in next Sunday. We'll discuss episode 2. If you have not watched episode 1, like I said, check it out and then come back and discuss it in the comment section below. And then next week, like I said, I just said that twice, we'll talk about the next episode. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. It's not just this coffee right here. I'm hyped because I just watched Dragon Ball Super again from last night with subtitles, and then I watched this anime as well. So I'm like super energy, crazy hyper mode right now. So I'm just excited. So yeah. Anyway, so I already talked to your brains off. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. What you enjoyed, didn't like, what your quirk is, and all that good stuff. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I will see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.